More recently, I decided to purchase the Razer DeathAdder, which is what you see right here, and this is the new model, so it does have 3500 DPI, a 3.5 GHz infrared sensor, of course 5 programmable buttons which you can configure in the software, and this is the right-handed layout, but if you are left-handed you can of course purchase the left-handed layout, and it is cross-platform so you can use it on a PC or a Mac. So I've been using this product for, I would say, around 2 weeks now, and I've certainly noticed an increase in my gaming performance, particularly in FPS games, which is pretty much all I play, but still. So one of the biggest differences that I noticed on this mouse compared to any other mouse that I've used in the past is simply how comfortable it is. When you rest your hand on it, you have a tendency to actually put your entire palm on the mouse, and I'm trying to handle it at an angle right now, so it may look a little bit awkward, but if you're using it like any normal person would who doesn't sit in their room and record videos all day, then it feels pretty natural. So yeah, it does have a very natural feel, and what I really like about it is that it has a matte finish rather than a gloss finish or like a regular plastic texture, because any gloss finish or plastic texture can typically lead to perspiration, which is very uncomfortable when you are gaming. Now, one thing I actually don't like about it is how there's a gloss finish on the side. Now, as I said, that can lead to perspiration, but since this is just covering up a small part of the mouse, then it's not going to be too bad. Now, as any gamer will tell you, excellent performance is crucial when purchasing any mouse designed for gaming, and the DeathAdder certainly doesn't disappoint. So when you have 3500 DPI, every movement that you make with this mouse is going to be smooth and uninterrupted, which is of course really nice when you need to move your mouse to a spot quickly and you don't want any lag interfering with your aim or anything like that. That can get really annoying. So just to give you a little bit of a comparison, a standard mouse has a polling rate of 125 Hz. Now the DeathAdder actually features a polling rate of 1000 Hz. This means that your response time can actually be decreased down to 1 millisecond, which is very nice. That means if you see somebody camping somewhere, you can react really quickly and have an advantage over anybody who has a mouse that has anything under 1000 Hz for a polling rate. As far as configuration goes, well, if you take a look at the software real quick, you can see that you can configure just about every single button on this device. You can turn the lights on and off, so if I wanted to turn all the lights off, I would just uncheck those and click apply, and then if you look at the video, you can see that they're off. But typically I just like to have the scroll button on because you can't change if the Razer logo glows or not, like if it fades in, fades out, which gets kind of annoying, particularly at night, so I usually keep that off. But you can see that you can change your DPI from 450 DPI all the way up to 3500 DPI, and you can see here's the polling rate. Now what I really like about it is how you can set individual profiles. So let's say that this can be your gaming profile, so you can have the highest polling rate, highest DPI, but let's say when you're just using your computer, you want to have a lower DPI and a lower polling rate. Well, you can do that, and you can actually have up to 5 profiles. So this can definitely help you out a lot, and it saves a lot of time having to reset everything every time you want a game and every time you just want to do something else. So over here in the sensitivity tab, you can adjust your sensitivity. I like to keep mine low, but I mean, that's just my personal preference, so it doesn't really matter. And you can test how fast your double clicking speed is. And I'm actually not using the DeathAdder right now. I'm using my Logitech mouse because I don't feel like messing with the DeathAdder because it's all the way over there in front of the camera. But yeah, in advanced sensitivity, I really don't like to mess with this because this can throw you off a lot. But if you know what you're doing, then go in and play around with it. And it's really not that confusing because of course you have your x-axis and your y-axis, y up and down, x across, obvious. So yeah, you can mess with this if you like to have different sensitivities for your x and y axis, but I like to keep mine the same. And yeah, this is pretty much the software, and the weird thing about it is it actually didn't come on a disc inside the package. You actually have to go online and download it, which was kind of weird. Would have expected that it came with a disc and you would just install it and update it, but this is kind of nice because you can just go ahead and get the most updated version right now, so you don't have to install an older version and then get the updated version later. So taking a look at the actual device here, you have a forward and back button here on the side, and on the top you just have a left click and right click and your scroll wheel, which is illuminated by the way, which looks very nice. So as far as buttons go, you really don't get anything extra out of this mouse, but what you do get extra is performance. If you already have a mouse that is not designed for gaming and you are in the market for a gaming mouse, I would definitely recommend the Razer DeathAdder, because so far I've had